welcome to the One Shot Effect podcast. I am joined today with Chris Hanson, a legendary serial entrepreneur all the way from the United States of America. He's grown quite a few businesses, but he can tell us a lot more about that. What businesses have you grown? Maybe that's a good first question.
So I started my first business when I was probably 20-ish. That one was a ed tech company. So it was basically like a typical kind of startup where you build out some software and then you try to like blow it up. So I thought it was going to be like $1 billion company. It ended up not really going anywhere, but it taught me a lot of really good skills about business. That was like maybe 3-4 years of just focusing predominantly on that. I was also in school. Then when I got out of school, that's when things really started to get more serious. I did a marketing agency. I got plugged in with another guy who was already a serial entrepreneur, and we kind of co-founded a bunch of companies together. Those started to make some money. Was able to channel that into growing said marketing agency into an even bigger marketing agency. Got that to $100,000 a month, big deal, bunch of employees in Miami, and that was recently last year. And now I'm working on new company that you're familiar with, but basically just tons of different hustles and entrepreneurial.
So how old are you now? How many years would you
29.
say that you are into
So
your
it was
journey?
about like 10 years.
29.
About like 10
You're
years.
young, bro.
Yeah.
I sometimes think you're older, bro, with how much knowledge you
People
have.
tell me that,
how wise you are, brother.
Definitely, yeah. You definitely want to play up the years in the entrepreneurship game, make it seem like you're a little bit older than you are. That benefits you from like a lot of.
What are your secrets to that, brother?
Just talk about things in terms of how many years you've been doing them. You just frame things in a different context. Don't like do too much bro, what's up talk. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
It'll help you like close more clients to be more professional like that, and just
right.
you know what I'm saying?
It's funny because it shouldn't matter how you speak and all. The results should matter, but it does matter, and it's subconscious. Like people are making decisions about you subconsciously. It's not even them consciously saying, "I don't like someone to say bro," but it's just like, "Oh, business has been done this way, and there's reasons for that, right?"
Yeah.
And professionality is important.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the whole wearing suits, bro. I mean, even you right now, you're dressed pretty good. But, I mean, that's just becomes who you are, you know what I mean?
A lot of people are not so good at that. Like, other people I see on Twitter and stuff that are, like, starting business or whatever on Discord, they're, like, very, they're very, like, loose and casual about it. And, maybe that does work for some people who have, like, are more content creators or anything. But, I would recommend that people try to be as professional as possible, so to speak.
Or what would be your advice to be more professional? And what has been your journey with professionality?
I just grew up around professional people, so that was always like pretty easy to do for me. It just came naturally. I've noticed, like, because I'm always trying to get like employees to up their ante and just like be more you know what I'm saying, just operate more effectively, give a better impression of whatever company I'm doing. But I noticed, it doesn't come as easy to other people. So it must be something about like where I went to school or like how I grew up that just enables me to talk with that like professional tone. So I don't know.
It just seems natural to you, I guess.
Yeah. So I don't have great recommendations as far as other people, but I think you just kind of have to develop that tone. It's like, if you're talking to girls, it's a different tone than like you're talking to the boys. So
Facts.
I think the way I probably develop that tone is to just put yourself in so many professional situations that you're forced to build that tone just automatically, like as a phase.
Yeah, you become the average of the 5 people who spend the most time with, right?
That is true. That's definitely true. Yeah. Well, that's a huge one, dude. But that's easier said than done.
Hey, brother, you quit Zen. How's that been?
No, now I'm back on it, so.
No ways.
Yeah.
No ways. Man made a video about it, his most viewed video about
That
quitting
that was
Zen
the
and gets
number
back
one.
on.
Dude, yeah, I was looking at the YouTube analytics, and that was like the number one scenario. So and again, like I'm just experimenting with the social media. I haven't figured
Bro,
out the
maybe you should
formula for
become a
this.
Zen therapist. Maybe you should quit the entrepreneurship thing.
No, but dude, you see the point of that. I was trying to test if I noticed a lot of people who are like very into Zen and just how like my brother's very into it and like they're very
Mm.
uh emotional about it. So I was just sort of brainstorming, yo, dude, how do you like actually how does the YouTube algorithm work? Like how do you actually get
Mm.
traction? And it definitely seems like being kind of like a bit of a asshole and taking like a contrarian viewpoint is kind of like the way to do that, dude. What I've noticed. You know what I'm
Bro,
saying?
you can intro me to someone from Beehive. Sorry, I'm just checking out your Discord as well, see if any
yeah,
questions spark from that.
yeah, dude. We got the. That's. Are you doing a beehive right now?
Yeah, just started it. It's actually doing pretty well. I've been quite surprised. I just started my podcast, just started my newsletter, and they're both doing really well.
Yeah, dude. I think that's interesting. It's definitely super easy to use, and if you focus on it, I think you can get a lot of results. So I honestly think
I
that's
got an
probably for you.
18% open rate at the moment. I'm pretty proud of that.
Oh yeah, no, dude, that's good. Yeah, you just got to figure out like where you're going to drive the traffic. Like, what are you going to try to convert them on?
Yeah, that's also one of the nice things about it is you can just get money by just sending people to your email list.
I mean, there are a lot of people who make money just on like they have a paid newsletter,
Bro, in fact.
and you
I
pay
mean,
money
that's also
to
where I'm at. It's like, bro, I need to start. Bro, your link tree is insane, bro. I just need to say that first of
20
all.
million links.
It's impressive, bro. Okay, yeah. So, I mean, that's even such a good evidence of just how many high network individuals are in the one network, and this is really what Chris is known for. This is how I met Chris. So, what is the one network? I think maybe that's a great question. And what inspired you to start it? And yeah, what has the journey of the one network been? And we'll definitely have a link to it in the bottom of the description.
Dude, so here's the thing about it. So initially, it was just I was done with my last company and I didn't have an idea for a company. So I figured just the best way to start it out is like the best way to start out any company is to create an audience for it. So I just I thought I came up with an entrepreneur podcast. I've always been an entrepreneur. That's kind of like my niche. So interviewed entrepreneurs. Then I'm like, yeah, let's create a community around this and sort of the initial idea was to be kind of like the go-to resource for people who want to be entrepreneurs. So you're browsing the internet, you're looking at Felix's YouTube, you're like, you want to break out of the matrix and like start your own company, which is a lot of people. We want to kind of be the people that could set you up, give you intros, tell you exactly what to do, and then coach you kind of to progress. The idea was to have it be a little bit different than like the typical kind of guru coach course model in that it's more based on us working with you than coaching you. And it's also more based on the community kind of like crowdsourcing businesses for people. So been doing that since the beginning of the year. Gradually it's evolved into a more later stage community. So now we have almost 1,000 people on a Slack that are more basically like they're serial entrepreneurs, like they're more established, like not like the younger, earlier stage guys. And we sort of facilitate intros between them. So, like for example, you mentioned the Beehive guy. We got the Beehive guy. So if somebody says, "Yo, I'm starting a business. I want to do Beehive." We go, "Okay, we can intro you to the CEO of Beehive," and then we make that intro. So trying to build this high leverage network, but with the purpose of growing and getting entrepreneurs off the ground in a faster and sort of more magical way than happens solo. And it's really about the as an entrepreneur, it's like tough to have to do it solo. Like you want people on your team, you want people in your corner that are backing you up. So we kind of fill that emotional need and just like logistically for the entrepreneur to become an entrepreneur.
Yeah, I think you touched on a good point there. It's that even that accountability and even just how lonely the entrepreneurial journey can be. What a blessing and what a gap in the market really. Just that community, and there's really a lack for third places in the modern world, right? people go to work and they go home, but nowadays people even work from home. So people aren't networking, people aren't making friends, people aren't being held
Yeah.
accountable.
That's an interesting point, and I didn't even think about that, but you're probably right, which is that like a lot of young people, there's less sort of in-person connections and just like opportunities to actually meet people in business or whatever it may be. So, but yeah, that's the gist.
100%. So how has the Discord evolved over the years, would you say? And how long has it been around? And now you're saying you're ditching Discord and you're more using Slack?
Yeah, I'm not. Basically, the last 2 months we've been predominantly doing this on Slack as opposed to Discord because the audience
Wow.
has shifted
Let me
from
check
like,
it out, bro.
yeah. We'll get you in and
In the
after
link tree,
this.
maybe.
It should be in one of the files, but yeah, dude. So like the Discord itself, it's like when you showed up, it was pretty much we were pretty dialed on that end. We were doing these like
You had
daily
some
kind of.
good mods and like assistants and stuff.
Tell me what you think about that. You like that? You're a big Discord guy, so you like kind of know the
I'm
the
a
gist.
Discord guy. I don't know what that means, bro. I'm just a guy, but what do you mean? What do you mean?
Well, I mean, I don't know. I don't use Discord outside of this like group. You know what I'm saying? Like I wasn't using it originally. I just heard about other people using
Okay.
it for business, and that's kind of. Do you know what I'm saying? How I got plugged in with that initially.
I hear what you're saying. I like Discord. So yeah. So here's some of the best use cases I've seen. Um, One of my favorite music artists, he has a Discord with 3 tiers. One is, let's say, $8 a month. The other one's $30 a month. The other one's $70 a month to
Yeah,
be in his Discord at varying tiers. And then he'll do like a weekly Q&A. So it can work like that, but then I guess there's also school. School's a good I see school as the entrepreneurial networking group, whereas Discord's more connect with your fans and play video
yeah.
games, and we're gamers and
It's interesting, dude,
let's
because
play
we had a
together.
school. We had a school running. We had about us on who were like big on school, or they have like a large school or paid school. I never. It kind of
That's
is
what
a
my new
shitty
sales job
platform.
is connected to.
Yeah, I don't get it at all. I mean, I just look at it through the eyes of
Everyone's
the
just
consumer.
sucking Alex Hormozzi's dick.
They're
That's
just
kind of what
sucking.
it is.
It's a pyramid scheme of people sucking each other off, and Hermosi's at the top, and then there's all these like little mini Hormozis. So to be real with you, dude, like I just hate that type of vibe, bro. Like I don't want to be sucking somebody off by like the transit property. I think the platform kind of
That's
sucks.
very true. Whereas I don't feel that way with Go High Level.
Yeah, well, dude, because it's not like a personality. It's just like a
Even
system. There's not a
a Zoom
personality.
kind of thing, you know?
That's what I'm saying. So like my thing with the Discord was it seems like people they get interested in it and they get active and they start working on themselves and their business for a few weeks or even at a few months. And again, we weren't charging any money or anything, so it was people who were didn't have any money, but then you could tell those people gave up after like a few weeks.
Damn.
So that for me, the reason really why I stopped pushing it was just disheartening to put all this time and effort into like helping these type of entrepreneurs, and then
Damn,
they gave
bro.
up on it. So
So homie
the
got a
way
little
that I
bit
do it
burnt,
now,
I would say.
not burn. It's just that's the
Okay.
nature of the game. So now the way I do it is I definitely want to do the same thing, which is help early stage entrepreneurs, but and I'm using very similar systems on Slack that we built on the Discord. Everything is very much the same, but now we're targeting people who are maybe they've done some of the initial steps on their own. Like they have the website, they have the sales process, they have a client or two. So they're kind of
So
past that kind of like bullshit stage.
I think it's really what you're saying is, at a certain point, right? And, when you first started the network, it's, accommodating to everybody and it's learning everybody's problems and it's learning the individual's problems on different levels. But then it's about
Okay.
which problems are the most financially viable to solve, would you say? Or
I would
who
even
do I specifically, am I most qualified to help as well? And now the experience that you've got given now allows you to climb the ladder, so to say.
Felix, I think that's a good point, but I would even go a little bit further than that on a more personal level, which is that I would say that it's more tied to the stage of when people start their business. So I've done 100 podcasts, dude, interviewing entrepreneurs. I just did my 120th this year.
Great. Congrats, brother.
You know what I'm saying? And you notice a lot of commonalities and similarities between people. So one of the biggest commonalities is basically that the most successful entrepreneurs, like the ones that go on to accomplish the most, they come in with a game plan. Like it's not just random. And again, dude, I didn't come in with a game plan really, but most people who are successful in entrepreneurship, they work a job for a little while, like you're doing, like a side gig, okay, and then they save up some cash, and basically they use that cash to get a starting point off for their business. And then it's easy. You can deal with the ups and downs a little bit easier when you have some cash and a game plan. A lot of people out there who are wannabe entrepreneurs on the internet, they have no money or they have negative money, and then they want to be an entrepreneur. Being an entrepreneur is not easy if you don't have like money.
I think that's, you say it so well there, brothers. That's the difference. Is some people earn money and see it as an opportunity to invest, and they're passionate and they believe, and other people somehow have money for Netflix but don't have money for their own business, right?
Yeah.
I think people don't try enough things. They give up too early. They don't invest in different ways. You know, what are some of
This
the best
can be
ways
misconstrued.
you think a business owner could spend their money?
That's a good point, okay? Because there's some really bad ways to do this, and a big mistake, a fatal mistake that you can make is putting the money in the wrong place. So a very stupid move, you got to look at things in terms of like the scale of stupidity versus. Can you hear me, by the way, Felix? It switched my microphone for some
I
reason to
can
my
hear you
AirPods.
perfectly. Perfect.
There's different degrees of stupidity. I would say spending money on ads, not smart if you don't have thousands and thousands of dollars. Buying $100 email software or a $50 email software, that's probably a pretty smart move. Buying a list of prospects to reach out to, that's a smart move. Buying a new, nicer shirt is a smart move. Um, you know, things that are not smart are like putting money on a course. That's a lot of money, like a 5-figure setup fee that's never going to have a good return. There's a lot of that being pushed on Twitter nowadays. So, yeah,
You
dude,
said
that's kind of
cars
like
or no?
cars.
It depends. Like I've seen, it depends. Like I've seen, like, yeah, I guess
Well,
it all
if you have
depends,
to
right?
get that was, it if you're getting a car to get you to,
A
you know
to
what I'm
B.
saying,
It's
drive Uber or
it's a
something.
asset,
Yeah,
right?
like if it's tied to your income in some way, then I think that's a smart move. Do you know what I'm saying? To get a car to like flex and show off is not a good move.
Fact.
I've
Yeah, I mean,
made
at the
that
end of the
bad
day,
move.
you're spending productive time not in your car, in your office. So you should upgrade your office, your
Yeah,
chair, your laptop, your camera, your microphone, your lighting, everything to make the things you want to do in life easier to do and more of a pleasure to do, you
right.
know?
And if you're really, really hardcore, you could live in the car.
100%. Zoom meetings in the car. I want to get a camera at the moment to put in the car. Then I can record podcasts while I'm in the car, bro. We love hyper productivity out here.
No, dude, I agree with you on that. I think that's a smart move.
Bro, I've been trying to go high level while I'm like driving. If I get a wife, they're gonna have to be either driving while I do some sales calls, or I'm gonna drive and they're gonna set it up on the laptop and send it to the AirPod. You know,
Yeah, exactly. That's
bro. I
funny.
mean, an 8 hour drive, we can make some money on the way there, baby.
Exactly, dude. That's the kind of thinking that gets you places.
That's facts, bro. Yeah, what's been exciting you mostly lately?
Um, dude, it's just like kind of seeing everything because it took a bunch of pivots to get to the current business model. And again, I've had successful businesses before, like where we were making a lot of money and got a lot of leads. So I know what a successful business looks like. So it's interesting seeing sort of some of the things come together, some of the thought processes, and like for example, getting like the right website. Like took 5 or 6 websites for us to get the one that resonates with the audience. Took like 20 email campaigns and agency structures to find out the client management system. So it's just seeing everything that works. That's cool to me. I'm also like I'm excited by the possibility of the content. I'm not like heavily focused on producing content, but like I know that possibility is there. Like, dude, like a lot of what's interesting to me is, I used to always just reach out to people to get new leads and prospects and new people, but like, you can get new people from the video. Like Banjo, shout out Banjo.
Facts.
A lot of these cool guys that came into the community, they came through like a YouTube video I did. And it's not like I have a ton of subscribers or anything. Like I got basically nothing, but from one
And
video.
that's the thing is, do not
So
get lost in the numbers. It's not about the number of subscribers. It's about the quality, and it's about not like pandering to the algorithm and reaching 1,000 people who are interested in dancing videos. Rather get 5 people who are interested in whatever you're interested in, right, Chris?
I think so. I do think like, dude, like I have a system, right, for coming up with these video concepts and editing it. I mean, a lot more to put out something that conveys positive professional stuff. Like a lot of work needs to go into it, so it's like not a one man job. At least for the stuff that I do, like like somebody's got to edit it, template it out. So I think the content is very similar to any other aspect of the business, which is like um, you have to have a process and a team and operationalized thinking,
You need
and
consistency,
it's
right?
challenging. Yeah, I think obviously, yeah, you need the consistency too, but it's interesting. I think I focus with that. It's really just developing like the team of editors and the people who post for me,
Facts.
get it
Facts.
out, and then maybe throw some ad promotions or some cash on top of
Would
it.
you kind of see what's the best performing organic content and then potentially boost or use as an ad the videos that perform the best organically?
Dude, the weird thing is like I don't know, man. Like I've tried boosting, like
Well, I'm not a fan of boosting. I don't like the word
well, dude,
boost.
so like last year I did this. Uh, like I did basically like YouTube prank videos.
Okay,
Not really
no
prank
worries.
videos, like comedy videos.
Yeah,
Where we were just like doing like stupid stuff, asking like straight interviews. And
yeah.
yeah, it's just dude, it's hard to. I haven't been able to figure out the ads in a good way where
I mean, you
like it
haven't seen
actually
the Iman
results in good stuff.
Gatsy kind of, oh, I'm a high school
Dude, see the
dropout. Buy
thing,
my
the reason
course.
yeah, dude. The reason we had a guy on recently who like knows Iman Gadzhi, who I met with in the city a couple times in New York. The thing that
Yeah.
there's two reasons why those guys are popular. Number one, and I'm not
They're
trying to be
young
a
and relatable.
homo. No, they're good looking. Um, the number one reason is they're good looking, and so people click on. This has been scientifically proven that people like click on things that
Well,
look good or
it all comes back to reproduction, right? We want
yeah,
our best odds at reproducing, so we want to hang around with
yeah.
the alpha males because it'll rub off
So
on us.
exactly, dude. So people find that hard to. Um,
Understand?
some people find that hard to understand. That it's not really that anything he's saying is different than any other like scam guru that's out there.
Facts.
But it's more so that he just has like a greater visual presentation of
Bro,
it.
the
Like,
funny thing is,
you know,
he likes to stay in Cape Town, and I live in Cape
he's
Town.
in South Africa. Yeah, yeah, dude. He like goes down there. That's
I
his.
know the guy who works at the camera shop that he prints his photos at.
Yeah, yeah. I think if you're going to be, I know a lot of people who are like they want to be the guru because it's just like the easy money. It's the easiest money to just charge people 10K for some type of course delivery system. And yeah, dude, like it's weird, man, because I'm plugged into so many of these guys on Twitter that do this, but it's
Yeah,
like I would
bro.
never
Yeah,
consider
like
in a million years paying for a course.
same, same.
I've never bought a
I mean,
course.
the real course is seeing how they market the course.
Yeah, but even that, dude, I don't agree with. I've heard people say, I used to say that,
Like
which is
I'm
like,
learning how they're doing it. I'm not going to buy their course, but I'm going to check out their funnel. I love to get pitched crazy shit. I got pitched a training of a group training in a group of 30 for 7K each.
take that down for me. What do you mean by
It was like $7,000 to be a part of this group training by
that?
this
Okay.
guy who's a poet, and he had one video go viral. But because of
Okay.
that, he's figured it out. Which is so many people. So many people got lucky, and now they're gonna act like they know why they went viral. I think there's a lot of that.
Well, I'll tell you is that if you are a guru and you are able to convince people to give you money for something that has no value, it increases your confidence just instinctually to the point where you're actually able to sell better. So
Facts.
so you're actually able to psychologically convey there's signals of trust and comfortability. Like if you basically believe your own bullshit, and it's just a natural it's a natural kind of extension of winning. But the problem is that the source of the winning is completely it's unethical and it's devoid of value. So somebody if you are so used to like you know getting like a person who's very used to like collecting this course revenue, uh they're not going to be a very good team player. Like they're not going to be a good. I wouldn't want to work with them on a marketing team. I wouldn't want to work with them. Like don't think that they would be able to contribute a lot. You know.
Yeah. So it sounds like it's been quite a process to get to where you are today. It sounds like you've tried a lot of tools, you've figured a lot of things out. I guess the question is like, what all have you learned? You know what I mean? There's people, yeah. Well, what have you learned, and how long have you been going at it?
I mean, dude, it's so much, bro. It's. I mean, are we talking about the one network or just like in general?
Everything, bro. But I think you're gonna have to write a book.
Yeah, dude. I've thought about that. I think but yeah, it's you learn it's a lot of stuff that you learn, but that can't be taught. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just a way of operating. It's the day to day decisions and um. But yeah, I would say in terms of things that I've learned recently that are interesting, um, all comes down to maybe like just engaging in this like info product money Twitter space. I wasn't formerly familiar with that. Like I didn't do any business with business influencers or Twitter people. So it's been interesting to learn kind of their psychology and
What is their
how they operate.
psychology? What is Twitter money? What and what is your third on LinkedIn? I think LinkedIn is probably my most underutilized social media.
LinkedIn is great, dude. It's like I think the bet like LinkedIn is great just because most people of all like people that exist are on LinkedIn, especially companies in the States. I don't know how it is over there by you, but LinkedIn is like a lot of businesses. The thing about Twitter is more of a kind of a flex fest. Do you know what I'm saying? It's kind of like I have like I've never used Twitter. It's been out since 2007 or whatever when I was in middle school, and I've never used it till the beginning of this year. And then I've mainly got like about 550 followers or something. And my followers are mainly influencers on Twitter, like that came on the podcast or were associated. So I only see stuff from them. So what's weird about it is there's like different Twitters based on what you're interested in. So like I never see any political
100%.
shit on Twitter or music shit or anything like that. It's just these business guys. It's all about the marketing agency offer, fucking Facebook ads. Like that's the whole feed, and those are the only people I interact with. So it's just interesting learning that it really is designed that way, where it's not a platform. It's kind of like a just a area that has different components depending on where you choose to associate yourself.
Yeah, I mean it's very interesting algorithms, but it's weird because it gets to the point that our brains are getting outsourced to AI. But it's so important that we prompt it, right? We say no, we're not interested in that. Oh, we're interested in this, and
Yeah,
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 it's an interesting battle where some people can go more and more into a negative life or thinking. Other people can go more and more positive, and it's how we use these tools, which is social media. And then where it gets crazy is you look at TikTok, which has a separate algorithm for America, separate algorithm for Chinese children.
yeah, dude. Yeah, the whole algorithm thing. I think it's like it's probably not a good idea to like consume social media, but it's like hard.
Consume social media. It sounds like a drug. So
Yeah,
I
dude. Well,
think
that's not, you know what I'm saying. Like, do you
and
watch a
that's
lot
the
of?
thing.
Do
It's
you read
social
a?
media users, and that's users is a good word for it. I think what does this make me think of? It makes me think of we pick up social media, we pick up our phone because we're depressed, or not because we're depressed, because we're craving connection, right? We pick up social media. Social media sells us a dream. Instagram, connect with your friends. Facebook, connect to the world, kind of vibes. But I think the sad reality is people pick up their phone, pick up social media, craving connection, and are often seeing FOMO. They see a celebrity that's richer than them, better looking than them, and they feel FOMO or they feel comparison. But
Oh
exactly,
yeah,
it's about curating the algorithm. At the end of the day, like social media was meant to keep up with our friends, but people are often keeping up more celebrities because of algorithms are faving the most controversial and the most likes and the edits and the fast hyper edit and the meme and the relatability. And I think the community aspect can be lost. And I think a big part of this is just how much money these tech companies have made recently without reinvesting that money. When I think of Facebook, they could have had internet cafes around the world, which I mean, they did a lot of work. They got internet to a lot of remote areas, but it was all done to get more users. It wasn't done to empower the communities and create more people meeting up. I mean, if they really wanted to do that, Facebook could have had a button on a Facebook group. It could say
sure.
book a venue, and they could connect to like Airbnb or connect to people in property. But the thing is, social media companies have decided, no, we don't want nothing physical. We just want everything digital. And you look at the scalability of that, and that's clear why they did that decision. They're not in the McDonald's property game. They're in the virtual space game. They're realizing that we've moved on from the information age, we've moved to the attention age, and it doesn't even matter
Exactly.
about the property because the property has to be advertised on their social medias and they own them.
Yeah,
So you're going to buy a Facebook ad to sell your Airbnb anyways.
yeah. No, I agree with that. I think the problem though is not necessarily the platform, but it's kind of like that's just how people are. Do you know what I'm saying? People are um, people are naturally wired like in a way where they I don't know how to say this, but it's like people are actually wired in a way where they respond to like certain signals and like
Are you saying
flexing
people are
or
easy to be brainwashed, or are you saying people love to go
that's just
with the
how
herd, the herd
people are all yeah,
mentality,
exactly. So
survival,
people are
fit
already
in?
like that. Correct. People are already like that. So it's not like that this just happened and they, you know what I'm saying, that this is like a new thing related to the technology platforms. People are already wired in this way. It's just the technology is making us like see it more for what it is. It's more obvious.
I hear what you're saying. I think there has definitely been some sort of an awakening lately with COVID, with the Trump assassination attempt, aliens. How do you think? Do you think people are waking up, or what
No,
do you think? No, no. Is that a no?
but that's not necessarily a bad thing. But I would say most people are still like, most people are just not like, you know, independent thinkers in general. That's just like a genotype. Do you know what I'm saying?
Say again. Say again.
It's just it's a phenotype. It's kind of like how people are. Most people are not independent thinkers.
Right, and they don't want to be. I think that's the thing. If you wanted to be, you would be, right? And I think that's also like a big thing to realize is that like if someone is overweight or whatever it might be, there's a big part of them that wants to be that, right? If you wanted to change, you would change in a lot of, sure, it's difficult. Sure, sometimes there's a conclusion. Sometimes it's impossible or whatever. But generally, if you want to make a change, you'll make a change. But it's people don't want to. People don't want the hassle of. I think there's a lot of, and we got to be mindful of that. With success, maybe as an example, there's a lot of sacrifice in that. A lot of people don't want to wake up early in the morning. You know, some people are like, "Wow, that's so great." Some people are like, "No." But I
Yeah.
mean, even just with success has a cost. Privacy is a luxury, and a lot of people give up privacy for success, and it has to just be worth the exchange. And yeah,
Yeah, it's interesting. Um, but yeah, I think it's like the thing with social media is it's just, you kind of have to find out like what your own way of interacting is with it, and then come up with some healthy balance, because you definitely can't. You would kill your business, and you would lose so many opportunities if you tuned out from social media entirely. Do you know what I'm saying? So, like, I think you have like a good perspective on that because you're like a creator. Um, but it's just one of those things. So, I don't know your thoughts.
100%. Um, my thoughts on what exactly, Chris?
Social media, like, how do you consume a lot of social media?
Probably. I try and so for me it's like this, right? We pick up Instagram for example, and what should happen is, oh, I see Chris has recently been in Vegas. Let me message him and see how's he's doing. Give him a call, or hey, let me arrange a meetup with Chris, maybe even virtually or in person. But that's not really what happens. Is Instagram and just social media in general, it doesn't really cater to the whole group chat element. And yeah, that's why there's such a demand for the discords in the schools and the you've been using. You said again, Slack,
Slack.
which is more of a corporate Microsoft Teams Zoom competitor, or where does it fit
It's like
in
Discord.
the?
It's a business
Okay,
version of Discord. Yeah, it was around
okay,
before
yeah,
Discord. It's like the OG. Yeah, yeah.
facts. Yeah, maybe I should get Slack again. Shout out. But yeah, tell me more about the Slack journey and what is your day to day life like? What is life like? And what is it like to be an entrepreneur? Would you define yourself as an entrepreneur?
Yeah, dude. Right now, I mean, it's three things. It's coming up with new ways to drive people into the funnel, get new people in the network, whether that's email, Twitter, automated campaigns, reaching out to people, etc. It's trying to close them on the offer and convince them to buy, and then it's for the people that are existing in the network, helping make them connections that are valuable, and like monitoring whether they're happy, whether they're getting what they want. Yeah, it's true.
Yeah,
So
bro. Okay, so you actually have quite a similar offer and business model to the guy that I'm currently working with. His name is Charlie Barber. You should definitely check him out. I'll send you a link maybe after the
dude, send it
podcast
to me for
even.
sure.
But worth checking out, worth evaluating, maybe even worth you two having a networking kind of chat.
Yeah.
One thing that he does quite well is he's got about 20,000 subscribers in the SMMA niche, and he sends those 20,000 subscribers to his free course or to his paid school community. And I call people that have either checked out the free course, or they checked out the school community but didn't purchase yet. So maybe it's just asking any questions like, "Hey, like, do you know the value, or is there anything that you're needing, or maybe you need something more advanced in the school community, and in your case, the Slack community." So does Slack integrate with the paid Paygate, or
No, you actually have to pay for Slack. It's the opposite.
okay,
Yeah.
How
You
does
kind
that
of run
work?
it like people use it internally for your team, so you have to pay like for every member,
Oh, okay.
like
So do you
Microsoft
charge
Teams.
people to be in the Slack or no?
No,
Oh, okay. So
I charge them
yeah.
if they want to be a networking, like a customer of ours, then they get charged. But that's like outside of the Slack itself.
Okay, so yeah, how do you use Slack? And I guess the question is, who do you want in your community? Who's welcome, and what? How do you segment your audience or your user base, shall we say?
I mean, essentially, if you're a business doing something cool, that's pretty much it. Yeah. Right now, I'm not really segmenting by industry or niche or anything like that. It's literally just the
You would segment by like where they are in their business journey or
you could, but I'm not even
capital
doing
or
that really. It's just
okay.
like yeah, I'm
Well,
just going after
you have
people.
low ticket sale, high ticket, medium ticket, or what? Like
They're all in
what
the
do you?
same thing.
Okay, what do you mean? Like they're all connected, or like how many different offerings do you have?
One offer. It's all the
Okay,
networking offer. So it's all if you come in with us, we can match you with potential customers and
so it's like Tinder for business owners.
pretty much. But yeah,
I
like
like that,
more
but more
managed than that.
professional. It's like LinkedIn, but Chris's LinkedIn.
Yeah, exactly. But we're trying to pool it from other members, and you know,
Say again. Pull it.
basically we're trying to pool together people's different intros. So like you have
Right.
some
Okay.
intros, we
You'd
try to
rather have it grow and grow, and then you say, okay, this is for this type, maybe creators and entrepreneurs. You might even separate, or would you ever separate? Or it's not about separating, right? It's about keeping it all together.
I mean maybe, yeah. If the need comes up for it, I probably would.
Yeah, but I guess I think what you're really at is like, no, let's specialize in one thing. Let's
Yeah.
focus on doing the one thing to the best of our ability. I think
Oh
especially
yeah.
in my generation, but just this day and age in general, there's a lot of shiny object syndrome, and there's a lot of people jumping from this thing to the next. But it's also about specializing in one thing, and I don't know, maybe you can speak on that. Like, how many different things have you tried in your life, and how much should we honor our curiosity, but how much should we also stick with things, and how important is discipline in your entrepreneurial journey?
So many, dude. And yeah, dude, that's one of the big challenges that you can run into is switching uh too often. And I'm definitely guilty of that as much as anybody else. So it's kind of, yeah, I constantly have to bring myself back on task. But I think it's good to try things. But I've never had a problem trying new things or changing my mind. It's always the main problem has been just like focusing, staying focused. So
And what have you been trying to focus on lately? What's that 20%?
sales.
What's that 20% of effort that's getting that 80% of result?
It's the team management, dude, and it's the sales.
How big's your team at the moment, and what's your sales process at the moment? Feel free to share as much as you feel like sharing, and um, you know,
Yeah, dude, I'll share it for sure. Um, so it's I got 20 people about different functions. Not they're not all sales or whatnot. In terms of the sales situation, so it's basically
bro, how great is this app? Look at the screen sharing. That was so slick. I didn't have to
you
give
like
you
that.
access or anything. Yeah, bro. This I'm really impressed with Riverside lately, for sure.
It's good, dude. Yeah, but yeah, dude, I have it's a funnel. We run some campaigns. Those campaigns go to
Bro,
a team member.
we gotta talk more, brother. Like I could learn a lot from you about hiring, and probably a lot from you about even just the campaigns you're running. I'd be
Oh
more
yeah,
than
dude.
curious to see sometime.
Yeah, cool.
Okay, yeah.
Felix, I
So
gotta
yeah.
run, brother.
Oh, you gotta run. All right. Well, we
Yeah,
continue this another
my bad.
time. Thank you so much for your
Yeah, dude, I'll
time.
come back on. You great audience here, by the way. I put my email in the chat. Felix, you got a great, good thinking audience here that I think is appropriately minded, dude. And yeah, I'd be happy to come back many times.
Thanks so much for checking out the One Shot Effect podcast. Every link will be in the description. Chris, when you do get a second, you're just going to send me a message of anything you want in the description. And thanks everybody for listening. And thank you, Chris, for your time. Peace. You too, brother. Peace.